Pontiac, a name that roared to life in the golden age of muscle cars, becoming synonymous with power, speed, and jaw-dropping design. From the streets to the drag strip, Pontiac dominated the 1960s and 1970s, leaving behind a legacy that still echoes today. In this video, we're counting down the top Pontiac muscle cars of the 60s and 70s. These machines didn't just define an era, they rewrote the rulebook on performance and style. Let's dive in. We start with the car that ignited the muscle car revolution, the 1964 Pontiac GTO. Known as the grandfather of muscle cars, the GTO was an option package for the Tempest. But this was no ordinary car. Under the hood was a 389 cubic inch V8, delivering up to 348 horsepower with the tri-power carburetor setup. This beast could rip through the quarter mile in under 14 seconds, which was not too shabby for this time period. With bold styling, unmatched performance, and an affordable price tag, the GTO became a game-changer and established Pontiac as the king of muscle cars. Next, we have a muscle car with attitude, the 1969 GTO Judge. With its bold colors, iconic graphics, and the legendary Ram Air 3 or optional Ram Air 4 400 cubic inch V8, the Judge delivered up to 370 horsepower. The name, Judge, came from a popular comedy routine, but there was nothing funny about this car's performance. The Judge was built to dominate the streets, with quarter-mile times in the low 14 seconds. It was loud, flashy, and unapologetically aggressive, cementing its place as one of the most iconic Pontiacs ever made. The convertible model for the Judge is highly sought after, being that only 108 were exclusively produced in 1969. In 1970, Pontiac unveiled the second-generation Firebird, and with it came the Trans Am. This car wasn't just about looks, it was a performance masterpiece. Powered by the 400 cubic inch Ram Air 4 V8, the Trans Am delivered roughly 345 horsepower. With its shaker hood scoop, aggressive front end, and aerodynamic design, the Trans Am wasn't just a pretty face, it backed up its design with unwavering performance and grace. Its handling was just as impressive, setting a new standard for muscle cars in the 1970s. As emissions regulations began to take their toll on muscle cars, Pontiac refused to back down. Enter the 1973 Firebird Trans Am SD 455, a car that proved muscle wasn't dead. With its Super Duty 455 cubic inch V8, this car produced 310 horsepower. Definitely not the true figure considering its real-world performance. The SD 455 was a street-legal race car with reinforced internals and pure raw power to match. It became a symbol of Pontiac's commitment to performance without hesitation, even as the muscle car era began to fade. The 1967 Pontiac GTO took everything great about the original and made it much, much better. Now featuring a 400 cubic inch V8, the GTO delivered up to 360 horsepower with the Ram Air setup. With updated styling, including stacked headlights and a sleeker grille, the 67 GTO was as beautiful as it was extremely powerful. It dominated the streets and became the quintessential muscle car of the late 60s. The 1969 Firebird 400 brought big block power to Pontiac's pony car. Under the hood was a 400 cubic inch V8, producing around 345 horsepower. Available with the Ram Air 3 or Ram Air 4 setups, the Firebird 400 delivered thrilling acceleration and sharp handling. With its aggressive styling and potent performance, the Firebird 400 was Pontiac's direct answer to the Camaro and Mustang, and it showed these two that the Firebird meant business. The 1970 Pontiac GTO Ram Air 4 was a monster on wheels, to say the least. Its 400 cubic inch V8 produced over 370 horsepower and offered breathtaking performance. The Ram Air 4 wasn't just about straight-line speed. Its upgraded suspension allowed for it to handle the curves and compete in the open roads as well. Pontiac's dedication to performance engineering was on full display, and the 1970 GTO remains one of the most revered muscle cars of its time and highly sought after to this day. Before the GTO, there was the 1963 Pontiac Catalina Super Duty 421. This car was built for one purpose, dominating the drag strip. which it did gracefully. Its 421 cubic inch V8, equipped with dual 4-barrel carburetors, produced a mind-boggling 405 horsepower. Lightweight and ridiculously fast, the Super Duty 421 paved the way for Pontiac's muscle car dominance and remains a legend in the world of high-performance racing. The 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SE became an instant icon thanks to Smokey and the Bandit. With its black and gold paint scheme, the infamous Screaming Chicken decal, and monstrous V8, the Trans Am SE had the style and substance to back it up. While its power figures were modest compared to earlier muscle cars, its cultural impact was unmatched, making it one of Pontiac's most beloved models. Thanks to the movie's success, this version of the Firebird has been etched in stone as a legend among legends. Known as the GTO's big brother, the 1966 Pontiac 2+2 was a full-sized muscle car that combined luxury with incredible power. Named for the seating configuration, it came standard with a 421 cubic inch V8, delivering roughly 338 horsepower. For those who wanted more, the optional 421HO version offered a jaw-dropping 376 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque. The 2+2 was not only about raw power but also refinement. It featured a sleek, elongated design and a spacious, luxurious interior, making it ideal for drivers who wanted performance without sacrificing comfort. While it was overshadowed by the GTO, the 2+2 remains a hidden gem in Pontiac's muscle car history, a true performance luxury cruiser. If the GTO was out of reach, Pontiac had another trick up its sleeve: the 1971 Pontiac GT37. Marketed as the GTO for the everyman, the GT37 was based on the Tempest, but offered serious muscle car performance at an affordable price. Buyers could equip the GT37 with a range of engines, including the 400 cubic inch V8 and the 455HO, producing up to 335 horsepower. With its aggressive exterior, including Rally 2 wheels, dual exhausts, and optional stripes, the GT37 looked the part of a muscle car and verified itself on the streets without breaking the bank. The GT37 proved that muscle car performance didn't have to come with a hefty price tag, making it a favorite among young enthusiasts during the early 70s. Rounding out our list is the 1966 Pontiac GTO, a car that solidified the GTO's reputation as the potential king of muscle cars. With its 389 cubic inch V8, delivering up to 360 horsepower, and its bold new styling, the 66 GTO was a showstopper. Pontiac introduced the iconic hood scoop design with this model, along with updated interiors that made it as luxurious as it was powerful. From the drag strip to Hollywood, Pontiac's muscle cars of the 60s and 70s didn't just define an era, they raised the bar for what muscle cars should be. Which one of these legendary machines is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more automotive legends.